Welcome back to the Uncrowned Podcast, Season 3. I'm your host, Joe Buttice, or JB Fitness 777. The Uncrowned Podcast has been through a lot of changes, and I know I haven't exactly been there for the past 2 or so years. Then its first inception back in 2021, and it's currently 2024. So we've come a long way, and I feel like there's a lot of answers, a lot of questions I need to answer, and a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that went down. So if you are new here, the Uncrowned movement was a movement I coined and created back in 2021 when I saw that there was a need for men's mental health help and lifestyle and all, and this sense of community, right? And I started it up on TikTok with my JB Motivation 777 tag. And my whole goal was to bring light to the things that men go through and men struggle with and help us come together, right, in a sense of community. And with that being said, it took off. It blew up. It was awesome. I had merch. I had a Discord community. I had everything was going fantastic. And that was the start of Season 1, right? So if you look back, the first, I think, 20, 25 episodes, something like that, you'll have the most amount of guest speakers, most engagement, all of that stuff. Episode, I think, 3 or 4 is probably my biggest, called Motivated Depression. And when everything was at its height, I had merch and books, and it was fantastic. But what had happened was I had a really bad breakup around 2021 of my birthday, around that time. The woman I was with, I'm not gonna details all that stuff because names and everything are out there. But we did not end too well, and it really affected my mental health. I ended up staying with a buddy for some time, and he got me into doing substances. I will just say that much. I was addicted to cocaine for about 2 years. And during that time, it was really hard on me. I went down really, really bad. With that being said, as I was the one that was running the Uncrowned movement and my JB Motivation LLC, as I went down, the company went down with it. Not gone completely, like erased, but the momentum that we had been severely hindered. I had lost an Instagram account that I was just about to hit 30,000 followers on. I lost everything because I couldn't cope with everything that was going on. I was hiding behind drugs, sex, and partying, and it was really, really bad. I had lost everything. It got so bad where I was stuck in Miami for a little bit. I had lost the apartment that I got for myself. I had lost my car. I had lost my job. I had everything was getting stripped away from me, all because of the neglect of myself wanting to face and do the work. And then I got my foot in the door just a little bit. And I got another job. And then I started posting again. And that's where we come out with Season 2, when I was living with my old roommate, Mike. He was my co-host for a little bit. So you'll see Season 2. He's with me in a lot of these podcasts. But a lot of you don't know that during that time I was still using. During that time I was still trying to overcome all these traumas that I had been dealing with, for lack of a better term. And so as we progressed through that, I ended up losing my job again. But not all my fault on that one. I will name names on this one because I'm a salty sea bass when it comes to this. It was just, I was working for a super left-winging, leftist white company. I said, not white company, diverse company. Pardon my language. I said that wrong. A very diverse company that didn't favor guys like me or like my best friend Stefan, because we both got fired almost back to back. The owner of that, the person that was in charge of the building I was at did not like certain people and favored other people and pushed the people that she didn't like out of there. So that left me bouncing in between jobs. Again, brought back all the instability while I was trying to find myself and overcome all the things I was going through. And I'm leaving a lot of the major details out of it because I want to kind of bring you guys back to where we are now. But with all that being said, I was so busy trying to just survive. But the problem is you can't progress in anything with going to the bars every night, doing drugs every day. Like, it was every day, all day. Wake up to when my body forced me to go to sleep. And that was very hard, and I was still trying to regain some of this. And the amount of times that I started to revamp this is almost embarrassing. Like, I feel almost embarrassed the amount of times where I went, oh, we're making a comeback. Oh, we're coming back. Oh, we're coming back. And every single time life happened, I messed up and it just down and down and down. And I almost lost faith. Not lost as in I stopped believing, but lost as in losing who I truly was. And that was just a hardworking, go-getting, no excuses, shut up, grind, but also do everything I possibly can to take care of those that I love and hold them close. I had lost the honesty within myself. I had lost my integrity. I had lost my willpower and my will to live, to be honest with you. I didn't care. Which reflected on those around me. Leading up to this past year, I had met who is now my wife, by the way, which is amazing. Go me. I struggled with sobriety all of the summer of 2023, trying to wean myself off this tight grip that it had on me. And those are horrible vices, which ended up heavily affecting the relationship that I was in and I was trying to cultivate. This wonderful woman allowed me the space to try to figure that out and grow. And I nearly lost all of it because I still couldn't get myself together enough to provide what she deserved in that relationship, because I was fighting so hard between old ways or bad habits or self-sabotaging versus trying to get back to the old me that, the Lord God Almighty created me to be. And it wasn't until I saw that there was an opportunity, to get back to myself and the myself that I know I can be. It was really hard. And it wasn't until I got that taste of both, right? Here's how my life's going to be if I continue to live the life that I was going to. And here's what my life could look like if I just straighten up, straighten my act, get back to loving God and loving myself, and in turn being able to love those around me. I had to make a decision. And I will never forget the moment that God showed me that decision. It was after everything came to a point, right? After all my mishaps finally caught up with me, God quite literally brought me to my knees and said, listen, here's where you're at. Here's where I'm at. Either you can come to me and get everything that I promised and I knew you could be and I knew you should be, or stay right where you were, or right where you are, and amount to nothing, because that's what you've been. I will love you regardless, but your decision to come to me has to be yours. But I'm still here. Just trust in me, and it will work out. I said, okay. I can't keep living like this. It was killing me. I was not myself. I didn't recognize who I was. Not in the slightest. And I said, okay. I repented and prayed like I'd never done before. Went up to my fiance at the time, who was pretty much done with me. And I said, here's where I'm at. Here's where I'm at. Here's what I'm willing to do. no one can, I'm not going to try to make this into a religious thing, but no one can tell me there isn't a God. Because the moment I said enough is enough, take the wheel. I mess up too many times. You take it. I'm along for the ride. Let's see where this goes. I got back to work. I got married. I am now a main provider for a beautiful family. As crazy as my life is right now, I'm not depressed in the slightest anymore. In fact, quite the opposite. I'm a full-time student just because the government, thanks to my military disability, decided to pay for it. I work. I run my own stuff on the side when I have the opportunity to. I still coach and train people. And my quality of life has been what it is. Has it been easier? Yes. Is it a walk in the park? No. Does it still require work? 100%. Do I still have to show up every single day? Yes, but now I have the ability to. Right? Because when you have so much else going on in your life that doesn't serve you, you no longer are able to show up in the ways that you are needed. Because you can barely show up for even yourself at that point. So to get from A to B, one, I had to pick God first. Two, I had to physically remove myself from the situation. So this goes to anyone looking to kick a bad habit. If you are really struggling, because I didn't go to rehab or anything like that, but if you are truly, really struggling with what's going on in your life, make it harder, right? There's an ideology from the book Atomic Habits that our brain, we're human, will follow the easiest path of resistance, right? The path of least resistance. So sometimes you physically have to make it harder for yourself. So what did I do? All right, in my hometown, that's where I dealt and used and abused and all this stuff. Cool. How do we eliminate that temptation? By physically removing myself away. I moved over an hour away. This upcoming month, I will be 1 year sober. So I followed God. I physically removed my physical location somewhere else. Next is I had to remove anyone else that didn't serve me. Because when you live one life, you build a community that helps support that life. Why? So I was surrounded by users, dealers, and partiers. That had to go. Surrounded by the wrong influences, that had to go. The wrong people, putting the wrong stuff in my ear, that had to go. So I lost 99% of the people that I talked to, which is fine. Those people were in my past. Time to move forward. I kept one friend that I talk to every day, and I kept a couple other friends that I talk on occasion. None of them use drugs. None of them abuse alcohol. All of them want families. All of them want to drive and succeed and tackle. They're more masculine men, or trying men at least. I will say that. I had to rebuild my whole circle and my whole framework. Next up is I needed to start goal orienting myself again. Right? I established a decent foundation. I established my spiritual. I established my communal, my community. I needed to get back in the gym, start setting goals there, and then I need to start taking care of my mental health and start setting goals there. So I'm like, okay. I hired me a personal trainer. I don't really want to call him that. He's a fitness coach. He's a bodybuilding coach. Greg Lovato, he's been fantastic so far. And he helped me get through my first cutting season sober. And I came in third. First time I ever took this sport seriously. Last season, I was still, in my opinion, a worthless piece of crap. You will be amazed at what you can do when you actually put forth the necessary effort to take care of yourself and then attack. Take care of yourself, plan, attack. You'll be amazed. And then you could just start stacking accomplishments, and those accomplishments will build confidence, and that confidence builds more accomplishments because you're now doing things with confidence. It is a fantastic cycle, let me tell you. So now I'm gonna do my third bodybuilding show, or my third round of shows, I should say. Now with a coach year round. with a full year under my belt of going after it. And it's only going to get better. Because when you show up consistently, or as consistent as you physically or mentally can, because you're not going to be able to every day, we're human, you're going to have mishaps. Let's see what we can do. But I'm only able to do that as long as everything else is in check. And praying to God and thanking Him for taking me this far, from delivering me from that, thanking Him for what I have and where He's going to take me. And I need to keep that whole circle exactly where it needs to be in order to get what I need out of it. Which sounds very selfish, but it's the whole opposite oxygen mask theory. If I can't put my mask on first, I can't take care of others. So before I didn't have an oxygen mask on, I was starving of oxygen, to put it symbolically, I guess. So it wasn't until that I took care of myself first. I got my health right. I got my mentality right. I got my spirituality right. I got myself right first. Oh, and now I'm a rock star. I don't hit home runs every game, but man, I am damn close. And life will still get in the way. But your ability to handle those situations when life gets in the way are all predetermined on how you are able to show up for yourself. So I had to show up for myself first. And now I'm able to take care of all this. And now, the reason why I want to bring this around, third time's a charm. My third go around on this particular thing. Why haven't I given this up and done something new? Because I feel called to do this. Because I know that there's a need for it. I know that masculinity is dwindling in Western culture, and it's for a reason. And I will definitely have to do another podcast on that eventually, or soon, I should say. Masculinity is dwindling. I know that there's a need for this. Now, I need the people listening to share this and also recognize that there is a need for this. It is not normal to wake up feeling like crap every day. It is not normal to have some of the bad habits that we have. To crave sugar as much as we do, to constantly scroll through social media as much as we do, to constantly subsidize our own existence like we constantly do. It is not normal to drink as often as we like to drink. I was watching a movie with my wife last night, and it was Speak No Evil. Fantastic movie, highly recommend, guys. And the husband in that movie was frustrating the living hell out of me. He couldn't act. He couldn't decide when things fell apart. He also fell apart, and he freaking let himself go. He also had the physical inability to take care of business when he was called upon to do so. At the end of the movie, spoiler alert, fast forward like 30 seconds or a minute if you don't want me to spoil this, but at the end of the movie, they're all riding in the car, and everyone, the mother, the child, and the other child, all acted. Either try to defend themselves, try to help the situation whatsoever, or had ability to respond. All of them. But the father and husband was able to do something about the situation. That is embarrassing. So take a look in the mirror. As far-fetched as that situation sounds, with the way the world's looking, I don't dismiss anything anymore. Are you kidding me? We got Hurricane Helene, I don't know. Hurricane holy shit going on right now down south. Do you have the ability to think critically, rationally, quickly to help your family get out of that situation? Or if you get caught up in that situation, how to handle that situation? Do you have the mental fortitude? Do you have the testicular fortitude to act on it? You may be able to think about it, but do you have the balls to actually do something about it? This world is crazy. We got people driving in on buses. Crime rates are going through the roof. Are you able to defend yourself? Are you able to defend your family even? Those are things to think about. Are your friends, are they able to help? Or are you all just a sack of potatoes with your things in your hand, drinking Coors Light, watching the game? Ooh, I hope you guys aren't able to hear that train going by. There's not a fully soundproof room, but we're working on it. These are all the things that you need to start thinking about. Gentlemen, this is why I haven't given up on the Uncrowned movement. This is why I still believe that there's a chance to make this something bigger than itself. There is momentum there, so show us proof of market. It is up to me to get this message out there. It is up to you to share this message. It is also up to you to be a part of this community, to want to grow. And there are others like it. And I don't say this one's better than that one. I follow the Order of Man by Ryan Michler. He is fantastic, and he openly shares his struggles, especially his struggle with alcoholism. We all struggle, but as leaders, it's our ability to acknowledge our struggles, adapt, overcome, persevere, reflect on those struggles, share them, and be able to teach from them. That's what makes us good leaders. It is not, I want you guys to join my group and neglect that group, or be a part of it all, share it all. Collectively, we need to be in this together. It is not a this versus that. It is a this and that. The divisiveness right now in the world needs to stop. But our ability to come together, share like-minded or even contradicting thoughts, but be able to discuss them appropriately in a possibly entertaining or professional manner, or both, is absolutely essential. So that's where we're at, guys. That's what's been going on the last couple of years. That's why you haven't really seen much of me. I get messages all the time about, where have you been? We missed you. I've been here. Kind of. I'll try here and there. I'll go through my little spurts, and then I'll drop off again. Like I tried again this past summer, but then I was cutting really hard, and my mental brain fog was completely out the window. Then I'm trying to get a little more structure in my life so I can get a better direction and start organizing things a little bit more and actually start accomplishing the things that I want to accomplish, not only for myself, but for the well-being of my family and my friends. Because as I grow, I want my friends to come with. That should be your ultimate goal. Get yourself better, get your family better, get your community better, and in turn, actually make a difference in yourself, with yourself, by yourself. I don't care. Live for something. So if you guys have made it this far, I will preface with this. I coach on a 4-tier coaching program. I have a whole daily journal that's available on Amazon. Possible need for a revision, but it's the first one, so we'll see how it goes. You need to focus on your spiritual, your physical, your communal, your community, and your mental. Focus on those day in and day out. And there is no stopping your progress because it holds you accountable. And eventually they will become habit. And those habits will turn into accomplishments. And then you will really start to see that ball rolling. And it is a beautiful, beautiful process. You cannot have one slip, fall, or be hindered, because then that will directly impact the other. Your mental health has a direct correlation with your physical health. Your spiritual health has a direct correlation with your mental health, which also has a correlation with your physical health. And those you surround yourself with will also aid or hinder all the rest of those. You cannot have one without the other. Those 4 in particular can cultivate a truly fantastic man. And that's a hill I'm willing to die on. So, where do I want to take this moving forward? Well, I finally have the opportunity to have a space to record. So I will be utilizing this. A big one, the reason why I haven't posted at least a podcast in a while, even though I've had 1.5 million things to talk about, is I haven't had a place to record. We live in a house with a bunch of kids and a dog. There's always something going on. There's always something happening or noise or, there is no set private place for me to do this. So that's an issue. Equipment, that's another one. I also want to go back to how I used to post. Not overly edited, not overly cinematic. everyone is trying to make their 60-second videos into a movie scene. Nah, I think we need to go back to raw, straight, no condom, just raw dogging these videos out. And we'll see. There may be a need for a separate TikTok account or other social media accounts for this in particular, because I may have enough flags on my TikTok accounts where I can't get back that momentum that we had. Very likely possibility. We're going to play around with it and see. With that being said, I'm going to really try to get ahead on these podcasts. I already have one made, and it's going to be a part of a little project I want to see if I can pull off, which is the Mentor's Mentor. And there'll be an explanation of what that is in episode 2 of season 3. I'm going to probably stop counting these episodes soon just because I don't want to put a numeric value per se, because I just want to go. I want to do as much as I possibly can when it comes to this. Secondly, I am starting to get other podcasts lined up. So that is holding myself accountable to make sure the content gets out there for you guys. All I need to do is pull the audio and make sure it sounds okay and then post it on Spotify or Apple Play, whatever, and that's all set. The video, that may take a little longer, but I at least need it out there for you guys. Other than that, I think that pretty much catches us up. Once we start to get this ball rolling again, my next project is going to be redoing my coaching site and my merch site. Make sure that gets all up and running, and also a form community. Right now we have the JB Motivation Facebook page or Facebook group. Not sure if I want to keep that or not, or if I want to go to a separate sub-platform, but that's a play it by ear. Until then, I'm going to reopen the Uncrowned Podcast on all listening platforms, along with Joe Buttice 3 is just my primary Instagram right now. YouTube is going to stay the same. That's where I'm going to be posting the video part of all these podcasts. I think I can post the videos now on Spotify too, which is nice. Along with all the links and everything like that, we're gonna play around with it. We're gonna get back into it. I'm trying to stay as much on top of my schoolwork as I possibly can. Because I'm not gonna lie, I get paid a pretty penny to go to school, so that's kind of high on the priority list right now. But I would love to have my merch back again. I would love to start engaging more with you guys again. Start doing more lives again, at least once a week. Podcast once a week. Then take the highlights from the podcast, and it's a whole chain ordeal. And once it's just like with the physical activity, hardest part of the gym is getting into it, or getting started, getting into it. That's where I'd like to take this. And I feel like you guys are really going to enjoy the new me, which was a better version of the old me. But I think you guys are going to really enjoy what I have to bring. With that being said, as always, stay positive, stay motivated, stay uncrowned, you sexy motherfuckers.